dress-ups today?
No dress-ups today. No, we had our dress-up day the other day, and it was good. It was good to one, recognise the prison bar jumper, but recognise the past a little bit in footy.
Just a bit of fun, no political statements?
No, just an absolute bit of fun for the boys, and Bass, to his credit, thought the boys would enjoy seeing old school coaching, so we gave them some old school coaching.
Did you fit in nicely? The bars suit you, do you reckon, when you look in the mirror in the morning?
Yeah, well, I suppose there's some issues with some parts of me at the moment. My belly still sticks out a little bit, but I like the bars, they looked okay.
What does old school coaching involve?
Direct feedback. Normally quite direct, but no, it's a bit more. That's what coaches used to do. We'd always have the gear on, we'd always have the footy gear on, we'd be out amongst it like the players. Now we're a little bit removed from that now because of the way we train our players, the way we prepare our players is so much different.
Is there a place for it going forward?
For some fun? Yeah, there absolutely is a place for some fun. I don't think there's a need for old school coaching as much as there once was.
Got a team for us, Kenny?
I have, but I've got to remember them all. There's too many. There's 5 changes.
Okay.
So to go through them all, we've got Burton, Rosie, Dersma, Marshall, and Sutcliffe in. The going outs would be, help me Noughts. I've got Mays, Leanett, Boyd Woodcock, Mitch Georgiadis with a little hamstring, and I've missed one.
I don't know. So is Mitch a bad hamstring?
No, it's very, very minor. Very minor, and I could stand here and say it's hamstring soreness, but every time I say that, it tends to go for more than 1 week. But he's got a very minor hamstring that hurt himself on training on Wednesday.
Any concerns over Scott Bassett?
No, Scott's fine, and we checked him out really well and make sure he was okay. You would have seen him training here on Wednesday, doing bits and pieces. He'll wear some strapping on his knee, but he's got a history of knees that are a bit grumbly at times.
Do you have Hayes on your emergency list?
Sorry?
Do you have Hayes as on?
Yeah. Sam would have, given the opportunity. If Scott hadn't have been available with Pete's situation, Sam would have most likely got the opportunity.
Was there a grappling between bringing all the guys back in that haven't played, that missed a fair bit of footy, Rosie, Burton, and Toddy? Did you grapple with that, or was it just straight back in?
No, look, we certainly. You put some thought into it, but the season with where we're at, and with only 4 games to go, and they've missed a bit of footy, so to get them back in, and the ability of playing proper matches underneath. We've seen that last night with Joe Danaher, didn't we, after such a long layoff. So if they're prepared well, they can come back and have an influence, and we think they will.
They're 4 pretty significant hits, aren't they? And with respect to Suts, you're almost peaking at the right time, aren't you?
Yeah, look, it's good. I mean, it's good to get those type of players back, but they've just got to come in and play a role. I know it's the easy coach line in it, but we're excited to have them back, but we think they'll make us better.
What did you see from Xavier Dersma after just the 1 week?
Oh, look, he did exactly what we thought he'd do. He went out in a match simulation session and dominated it pretty well and got plenty of the footy and did things that Xavier normally does for us. And I think we just, we put a little bit of break in the traffic for him, which helps him reset, and I think he'll be fine.
Can you read on the Swans, up 1 week, down the next?
Oh no, I think what we do know about the Swans is they're really predictable and they're really well coached by John, and they'll play a tough brand of football. They'll be hard work. They fantastic side at restricting sides, and they're great in the contest. They're led so well with their leadership players and their head coach. I think we know what to expect from Sydney, and that's a 4-quarter game.
How have you got to a point this late in the season where everything's been so condensed and training's been all over the place, and you've got, I think, 1 bloke on the injury list? How's that occurred?
Sometimes there's certainly a lot of good management. Sometimes a little bit of good luck. And some of the injuries that you tend to get on your list at this time of year too, because you've had 2 full games going on all the time, and we haven't had the opportunity to play lots of sample games or anything like that. So our injury list is in a pretty good position, as you said.
Do you put that on your players? Go, there's nothing standing in our way apart from us now to get what we want.
Oh no, we got our best opportunities, like every club would wish for. If you can get your best players and your list available at the right time, still got to maximise. Still got to be able to play well. I watched 2 teams play last night in West Coast and Richmond. Are going pretty well.
Have you been able to put your finger on why the last couple of weeks haven't quite gone as you would have liked?
No, I don't think there's. I think we know what we're not quite good at the moment, or as strong as we have been in the past. I think some of our effort, into to bring some shape to the ground and some defence to the ground a bit quicker. There's been plenty of talk about we've been able to get goals out the back, and now we can't win. It's a little bit over the top, but I think we recognise some things that we're working hard on to get better at.
You shut out the external noises, so Mick McGuan says you're on top of the ladder, but you don't have a chance.
Sorry,
of
Mick?
winning. Mick McGuan has said today you don't have a chance of winning the flag even despite being top.
Mixed opinion. We're on top of the ladder. We've got a chance. You know, anything can happen in footy, so we know that. But I think being part of the media doesn't. Are you surprised you hear different opinions week in, week out about different things? I'm not, and it's an opinion which I respect.
I think everyone could agree the right decision was made with Sam Palpepper earlier in the week. Are you concerned at all that the report in the first instance might limit his physical play, or he might not go as hard next time?
No, not if you know Sam. No chance that it. Look, it's good that there's some more clarity around it. It looks like it's somewhat clearer with what the results were this week. Players will be challenged every week to try and get it as close to right every time they can. And if not, we have a system in place that allows you to, one, first of all, be charged, and two, secondly, appeal that and see that you've got an opportunity to fight for your rights.
But you have no doubt at all that he'll continue to play a pretty hard style?
No doubt. He'll play hard style.
Kenny, was it music to your ears hearing Charlie say that he'd like to be here going forward?
Yep.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was. Does anyone expect he wasn't going to be?
Well, no one's done till they're done, are they? You would know.
I know Charlie.
But that's a great sign that what he's been able to do in the last couple of years at the clubs, you know, he's recovered on and off the field. His mental state, he talks about openly.
Yeah.
You've done a lot for him.
Yeah, it's a great story. It's been great for us as a footy club, and we've been equally as good for him, and I think that's why the partnership would continue to go.
He seems like a pretty loyal person in that regard.
Charlie's not going. Charlie's staying. He's very loyal. His teammates love him. He loves the club. I'm surprised at how much he actually loves being in Adelaide, even, to be fair, not just our footy club. He just loves the environment, and he said that to me, so I'd be surprised if he wasn't anywhere but Port Adelaide.
Is it nice to have a sort of pat on the back? I mean, not just for you, but for each of the players, whoever builds this culture and place to work. Is it nice to have pats on the back like that?
Well, they're good moments, but they're moments, as you said, they're built around a lot of work and a lot of effort to make sure that we have an environment that everyone enjoys, they're connected with, and they want to be a part of it. Now, we've had players leave, every club does, but more often than not, we sit in the positives when players come to make a decision to stay or leave Port Adelaide.
Just on Connor Rosie, is his heel something that will have to be continually managed throughout the year, or has he got no pain there?
At the moment, he's fine, but that's not to say it wouldn't come back. It's an injury that can come back. I'm sure plantar fascia can be a bit irritating for most people, but we expect Connor to be fine from now through, but we don't know that, but we're very hopeful that he will be.
How much could he benefit from a couple of games off, having this little spell for the first time in his career?
It'll be interesting. We'll find out tomorrow, but we think he'll be pretty fresh. We think he'll have some speed about him, but more importantly, we need him at his best to help us get better and make us a better team.
Sutcliffe came in last time when Connor pulled out at the last minute, so what's his role this time?
I don't think I'm going to tell you exactly what his role is. He'll come in and play in the team, but he'll give us an opportunity to do other things. Quite flexible, that's what he is. He's quite flexible. He can play back, forward, or midfield, and that's what we like. And part of it is to make sure that we've got plenty of numbers available for us who have had a lot of football or had at least some football at AFL level, and he's one of those players. We've had Maisie, we've had Lino, we've had a number of players who have got some opportunity to play some football. Boyd's another one. And we feel like that's really going to be important come the next 3 or 4 weeks, and hopefully longer than that when we've got a full squad.
The ones who haven't played yet this season, the likes of, say, Drew and Adelaide, have they got any shot of
Yep.
playing now?
Yeah, no, they have. And luckily enough, we've got a couple of match simulation sessions coming, which will give them more chance to push their case. And, Joey was really strong last week. Drew, he doesn't surprise me with having come back off a 16-week injury with his foot, that he's quickly got himself back in the picture. He's a player that we really like.
You must be so pleased with your depth, that you can just rattle off all those names.
Well, I think every club, if you can stay fit and healthy, got great depth. With a lot of clubs who are in a good position, and we're one of them at the moment, that our players are hopefully fit at the right time of the year, and we're going to need them.
Ken, did you sort of have a little smirk when a club champion from across the road says, if the rivals I've grown up playing against for my whole career called, I'd answer the phone?
Sorry, go again. If
Brad Crouch said he's open to a move. If Port Adelaide rang, he said he wouldn't turn anything down. He'd consider all options.
I don't know. I'm happy if anyone at some point wants to come and join our football club, but that's not something that I focus on right now. And it's part of getting ready for tomorrow's game that I spend my time on. And doesn't hurt if people want to come to a footy club at some point, I suppose.
Would you give him a call?
Who?
Brad?
No, it's not my job. Not my job. I've got a job to do, and that's win football tomorrow. And that's the only thing I'm going to focus on at the moment.
Can you get a line on the grand final, perhaps being in Adelaide? Where do you stand on that?
I think I said a week or two ago that I think for South Australia, football, to have the grand final in South Australia would be fantastic. Not take Port Adelaide out of it, take any other club out of it, but it's just be great for the state of South Australia. It's a football state. It loves its footy. It's got great passion. It'd be an enormous event, I'm sure, at Adelaide Oval, and I'm sure the government are pushing hard to do that for us. But again, it's a decision makers for people above me to make, but I'll be certainly one there to say, yep, South Australia could handle it, I reckon.
The football state thing seems to be the argument for people in South Australia. They're saying, well, maybe we should have it over some others because we are a football state. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, I think we've got a great venue. Adelaide Oval's an amazing venue. I mean, we've been there. We've been lucky to be there regularly when it's it's really going, and it'd be a fantastic site on grand final, as it is at Sandford. If you look at the Sandford grand final over the last few years, it's 40,000 people there. It's amazing. It's a great venue for any big event, and I think an AFL grand final would be great there if they're looking for a venue.
Darcy Burn-Jones plays his 100th game.
Yep.
What's he meant to your side?
Oh, Darcy's been quite amazing. His journey's been one that you're really proud of. He's come from, he was a late-ish pick. He's had to fight his whole way through, but since he's got in, I think it's been reported a number of times, since bar sleeping in once, he would have played 100 straight games. Great recognition of a player who's very, very important to our footy club.
You trying to get a haircut?
No, I stopped doing that a long time ago.